New York City is under siege. A giant alien fortress is hovering over the skyline. Robot armies are marching down Fifth Avenue. And the fate of the entire city rests on four brothers in shells, their rat dad, and a handful of multicolored teenagers from Dimension X. So welcome back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Saturday morning adventures continued, where the bad guys are backstabbing each other almost as much as they're fighting the heroes. So this is issue 34, the second chapter of the Perils of the Pantheon arc, and it's delivering exactly what it says on the box. Robot, betrayals, and enough action to justify the word Perils in the title. So in the last issue, the Pantheon straight up won. They opened a portal and dragged a massive alien warship into New York City. This issue opens on the ground level. April O'Neil is on the scene because of course she is. The streets of Manhattan have become a war zone, but here's the twist. It's not just the Turtles fighting back. You got regular New Yorkers, civilians, business owners, probably that one guy who runs a bodega on every corner, the mafia. Everyone is teaming up to battle the invading robot horde. It's a small but important detail that reinforces the City United vibe these old cartoons loved. I kind of miss that. Remember when New York used to be united against the common cause? Not anymore. But yeah, there's a giant dome around the city now. No one in, no one out. New York is officially on its own. No National Guard, no Avengers, just Turtles, mutants, and whatever civilians can find to use as weapons. Meanwhile, we cut to Krang's lair, where the Pantheon is having some serious teamwork issues. Man-Moth and Akka are questioning the whole invasion plan. Their argument is that this feels like too much work for too little reward. Akka even points out that their legitimate businesses, the businesses that they use as a front, are actually making a lot of money. Way more money than this whole conquest scheme that they have plotting right now. So why don't we just do that? Old Hob, however, is not here for fiscal responsibility. He snaps at them and starts laying down the law. We're going to crush this planet, and then we're going to bleed it dry. So yeah, just pure villain motivation, petty revenge. And he's completely unconcerned about making money right now. He just wants to get revenge on the Turtles and this planet for everything it's done to him. And while Hob is busy monologuing about planetary domination, Shredder and Krang are having a very different conversation off to the side. They're both furious that Hob reneged on their deal the moment he got his army back. So Krang is cooking up a plan. Back on the streets, the Turtles, minus Donnie, who's on his own separate mission, are having the time of their lives. They're trading jokes about how the robot invasion reminds them of a video game, specifically the video game Fighter Frogs, which is absolutely a parody of Battletoads. So yeah, they're just basically cracking jokes as they're fighting this horde and talking about how much it reminds them of Fighter Frogs and how difficult that game is, which anyone who's ever played Battletoads, it's basically become a meme, but yeah, that game is hard as hell. And that's when Dirk Savage and the Agents of Dude show up. Agents of Dude are basically Metalhead, Akari, Mondo Gecko, and Mona Lisa. And for anyone who's not familiar with Dude, they're basically this universe's version of the Howling Commandos. What follows is a classic team-up brawl. We got the Turtles, we got Dude agents, we got random New Yorkers battling a robot army in the streets. Chaotic, colorful, exactly what you want from an issue called Perils of the Pantheon. And then just as suddenly as it started, all the robots shut down. Cut back to Krang's lair, where Hob is demanding answers. He's wondering what the hell happened to his robots. And Krang basically reveals that he's taking control of the robot army. He's betraying Hobbs, who betrayed him first. So can you betray someone who's already betrayed you? I don't know. Anyways, he's seized control of the robot army, and pretty soon he's going to seize control of the entire Pantheon assets for himself. And what follows is another chaotic, multi-sided brawl, where we have Krang, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady versus the Pantheon. During the chaos, Man-Moth and Akka make a decision. Kind of just look at the mess and the chaos going on around them. And they look at each other and are like, nah, let's just nope out of here. So they open up a portal and they leave Earth entirely, heading back to their money-making schemes. They're tired of all this, and they think they can make more money back by going legit. And I like this because we get continuity. Turns out that their experience with Mutagen Man in previous issues genuinely changed them, which was a question that I had back when I reviewed that issue. So yeah, they didn't turn back to normal or anything like that. They have changed and now they want to go legit. So it's a small character beat, but it's appreciated. Bob, realizing he's losing control, cuts his losses and vanishes with the remaining Pantheon members. So the villain team up is officially over before it ever really began. Meanwhile, Donnie has been having his own adventure. He's with the Neutrinos, and they're trying to figure out how to breach the alien warship. Turns out that there's a giant force field around it, and they can't get in. But the solution comes in the form of flying robot attackers, who conveniently can pass through the shield without issue. So Donnie decides to hijack one of these vehicles, and he uses it to get inside the fortress, and he immediately radios his brothers. But as he's doing so, Hob and the remaining Pantheon show up and fight him. And that's how the issue ends. So yeah, the verdict on issue number 34. I thought it was a solid middle chapter. It doesn't try to be more than what it is, which is a bridge between the big setup in issue number 33 and whatever finale is coming in issue number 35. But I think it's a fun bridge. It escalates the thread, it reshuffles the villain hierarchy, gives us multiple fun action beats, and it sets up a clean, exciting entry point for the final issue. Or the final issue of this arc, I should say. So yeah, the things that I think work are the action. We get street level brawl with Agents of Dude, which is exactly the kind of team up chaos this series excels at. Seeing all these characters together feels like a Saturday morning event. You got the villain drama, Krang's betrayal, though can you really betray someone who's already betrayed you? It's predictable, but it's satisfying. Man-Moth and Akka piecing out because they'd rather make money the legit way than trying to conquer a planet is good continuity. The Battletoad reference was nice, even though it was like just super short. It was literally just like a one-liner that was just kind of thrown out there. The humor is very light in this issue, I've noticed. Outside of the one video game joke, the issue was a lot lighter on the comedy than usual, which isn't a problem because this was more of an action focus issue, but if you came to the series for the constant one-liners, you might notice the shift. Donnie's solo adventure feels a bit separated from the main action, but I mean, it's clearly setting up for the finale. So, it is what it is. It just doesn't have the same energy as a street level brawl. But yeah, all in all, this was a classic middle chapter. It expands the scope, shuffles the villain dynamics, ends with the cliffhanger that sets up the finale. Not the most memorable issue on its own, but it's an essential piece to a three-part arc. If you're reading this series for nostalgia, the action, the joy of seeing these characters again. By again, I don't just mean the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because there's tons of issues out there. There's so many different Ninja Turtles, I can't keep up with all of them. But if you want to see this version, the 1987 Saturday morning cartoon version, then yeah, you're going to have a good time with this series and this issue. And if you've been wondering what the heck happened to Man-Moth and Akka after their experience with Mutagen Man, well, here you go. Turns out that they're doing a cost-benefit analysis. So yeah, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures Continued, issue number 34. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was fun. It was entertaining. All you can really ask for from this comic. But I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.